Hi, everybody. Oh,
It's Ian, Kate.
Hi, I know we're sitting in here and it's so bright we can hardly see the screen.
We've had a damp, wet day in Derbyshire.
Oh,
Hi, John.
We've got beautiful sunshine. Thank you, Tim. And then I'll turn it or put it.
Nice sunset here at present.
Wat dat is, have niet spruited yet, Scott.
Very cool.
The garden
It's been a cold,
It was, I think
spring. When did you put them in?
we maybe planted them upside down. Still long after we came.
I'd like to say hello to Rona.
When the tatty's on the
Sent
spruce.
a message. I don't know how to get a message back. She sent a message.
Thank you, now, Scott.
There's still something left in the bag if you need any more, Johnny.
Okay,
Chat. And
Was that Kate asking how to send another message?
and then it doesn't.
Goodness me, you've got really good hearing.
I did.
No, we could all
no,
hear you,
Kate.
Kate.
If you go
No,
into
Kate,
the if you
You're
go
really
into the,
loud.
if you go into the
Oh,
chat, if you go into the chat link, if you go into the chat link, if you go into the chat
Yeah.
link at the bottom, it says to everyone. But if you change that and click on that, you can pick any one person you like. And
Okay,
then-
thank you. Yeah,
I just told her that, Pete, but she doesn't listen.
I just because Rona sent a message yesterday to say it was nice to see us, and I wanted to say it back to her, but
You have said it now.
I've
Kate.
said it now.
Heard you.
Nice to see you, Rona.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too and to see. Well, we saw Joyce for a minute, which has
Yes, she'll
disappeared.
be back.
Aye, she'll not be far. It's great. And Scott's there as well. Huh.
Chris, you can
Got to be, isn't he?
start whenever you feel like it. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think I'll talk.
I'm just checking that I've got everybody on.
I'm just here, Rona.
That's great, Joyce.
She'll be coming. There's a space.
Bob Blair, I'm just admitting.
Lloyd, mute. Well, maybe Pete will mute us. So.
I will. Yeah, I shall mute everyone in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Will it be painful?
What?
You'll not feel a thing.
No.
He didn't say newt, he said mute.
Can I ask a question for anyone? Some people seem to get a running text commentary along the bottom. Does anyone else get that?
No.
Got it in the morning
We did
with Margaret.
Lena
Yeah, I
seems,
got it with Margaret, just with Margaret.
Lena gets it on her iPad now, but I don't know why.
Oh,
I imagine you can turn it off. I certainly don't have it on my screen.
No, I don't either.
I haven't got
Be
a
a
text.
commercial.
I haven't got a text along my bottom.
No, it'll be a commercial. It'll be buy broom bosoms.
Pete,
Buy them when they're new.
those captions
Right.
you could shut off.
Peter, is the Facebook stream live yet?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
Hiya, Scott.
On the coast.
Hello, Steve.
You right?
Your
yeah.
voice here. Oh, there you
Can't get away from me, I'm afraid, Scott.
Right, I'm going to hand over to Chris now, and I'm going to mute everyone. Okay. Now that means that it mutes everyone except me, so Chris and Jimmy will have to unmute themselves. Okay. I'm muting all right now.
Okay, good evening, everybody, on a sunny late spring evening. Anybody that wasn't here last night, I'm sorry to tell you, or otherwise, that you missed something absolutely fabulous. But it looks like the potential exists to repeat that tonight, so we better get started. So I'd like to ask, first up, because he was first here, Brendan Kennedy, will you sing us a song? And then following that, I'm looking for who got missed yesterday, but some people aren't here yet. But Ian Russell, will you do the next song after that? And then could I ask Pamela if she would sing after that? So you're well prepared. And so Brendan, if you'll unmute yourself, just fire away with the best you've got.
Okay, thanks very much, Chris. Well, I saw it's an old song tonight, and they don't get much older than this. This one is at least 1,000 years old. It's known to go back to the time of the Vikings, so could be about 1,200 years old. You don't know exactly. But anyway, I'm singing an English translation of it because obviously it was written in Irish originally. It's Donalogue. If you should go across the water, I'm going to start that again. If you should go across the water, take me with you to be your partner. At Fair Day Market you'll be well looked after, and you can sleep with the Greek king's daughter. I saw you first on a Sunday evening. 'Twas about the Easter as I was kneeling. It was on Christ's Passion the priest was reading, but my mind was on you and my poor heart bleeding. Oh, Donalogue, you won't find me lazy, not like some high-born, expensive lady. I'll do your milking and I'll nurse your baby. And if you're set on, I'll defend you bravely. For you said you would meet me, but you were lying behind the sheepfold as the day was dying. I whistled first and then started hailing, but all that I heard were the young lambs wailing. Oh, you said you would give me, but you spoke lightly, fishskin gloves that would fit me tightly, birdskin shoes for when I go out walking, and a silken dress that would set Ireland talking. My mother, she said, we should not be meeting, that I should pass you by and not give you greeting. 'Twas a bad time, surely you chose for cheating, with the stable bare and the horse retreating. Oh, you took what's before and what's behind me. You took east and west when you would not mind me. Sun, moon, and stars from my sky you have taken, and God as well, or I'm much mistaken. Oh, black as the sloe is the heart that's in thee. Black as the coal is the grief that binds me. Black as a boot print on a shining hallway. And it was you that blackened it forever and always. That's it.
Lovely.
Thank you, Brendan. I think that I was thinking now, should I sing first, and decided not to. And as soon as you said you were going to sing a song that was 1,000 years old, I thought, oh no, that's what I was going to sing. But I'll have to be scrabbling around looking for something else now while everybody else is singing.
Sorry, Chris.
That's okay. It was a pleasure. It's a different version from mine anyway. So it was, who was it I had up second? Ian Russell.
Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone. Lovely to be here. And no, the sun is not shining in the Derbyshire Peak District. I'm afraid it's dull and dreich. And yeah, there you go. A song which went round meeting people and recording traditional singers and traditional singing in the Sheffield district now for many, many years, but I've never come across this song in that area at all. But Greg and Duncan, Gavin Gregg and James Bruce Duncan certainly did. They recorded well over 20 versions of it. And it has been recorded in Orkney and in Shetland as well. In fact, Peter Cook recorded versions in the 1970s as well. And it's the Sheffield Apprentice. You would think it might be heard in Sheffield, but no, I'm afraid not. I was born, brought up in Sheffield, but not of high degree. My parents doted on me, they had no child but me. I rolled in greatest pleasures where'er my fancies led, till I was bound apprentice, then all my joys were fled. I did not like my master, he did not treat me well. I made a resolution nae long with him to dwell, unknown to my poor parents. From him I ran away and steered my course for London town. Accursed be the day. A handsome fine young lady from Holland being there, she offered me great wages to serve her for 1 year, and so with much persuasion with her I did agree to go and live in Holland, which proved my destiny. I hadna been in Holland a month, but scarcely 3, when that my young mistress grew very fond of me. She said, my gold, my treasures, my houses and my lands, if you consent to marry me, shall be at your command. I said, my honoured lady, I canna marry you both, for I have lately promised and made a solemn oath to wed with none but Polly, your pretty chambermaid. So please excuse me, mistress, she has my heart betrayed. All in an angry passion, away from me she ran, resolved to be revenged, and that before nae long. She could no understand why she couldn't be my wife. So she did plan a project to take away my life. One day as she was walking all in her garden green, The flowers they were blooming, so beautiful to be seen. A gold ring fae her finger, as I was passing by, she slipped into my pocket, and for it I must die. She cried aloud, I'd robbed her, and for it I was brought before a grave old justice to answer for my fault. Long time I pleaded innocence, but it was all in vain. She swore sincere agin me that I was sent to jail. I was sent into confinement with none to pity me. My mistress thought by danger my folly I would see. From a place of confinement I was taken to a tree. O God, reward my mistress, for she has ruined me. All you that gather round me, my wretched fate to see, don't glory in my downfall, I pray you pity me. Believe me, I am innocent, I bid this world adieu. Farewell, my dearest Polly, I die for loving you. Sorry about the wee slip.
Okay, thank you, Ian. You made up for not getting a song last night there. Pamela, could you strut your stuff now?
Certainly. There's a singer from Aberdeenshire named Jean Elvin. Only a few songs were recorded from her by Hamish Henderson and Seamus Ennis in 1952, and I've learned several of them because I quite like her singing, and this is one of the ones she sang that's less often heard. Oh, coming, Willie, coming, you've proved a sad disgrace for the murdering of your bonny wife, afore your bairnie's face. It's cruel and bloody was the fray between that man and wife. The woman fought in self-defense, but lost her precious life. The twa wee bairnies, panic-struck to see their mother lie, crept out of a back window, and to Hundley town did fly. 3 miles they ran on muddy road, with neither hose nor shoe, with nothing but their sarkies on, heroic deed to do. When at the police station they told their gruesome tale, no wonder that the lads were faint, and looked rather pale. The policemen, they took the road to Kearney with great speed, but not to save the woman's life, for she was past remead. Oh, coming, Willie, coming, a cloud hangs over you, and not the brightest ray of sun could ever pierce it through. It hangs around your bairnie's head like the mist before the rain. Think, wretched man, on your misdeed, and on her who you have slain.
That was lovely. Thank you. I'm uncertain who it is I'm passing over to. Is it you, Pete?
Yes, that'll do fine. Okay. Thank you very much. Great, good start. Now, I'm going to ask two singers to sing, and then I'm going to ask John Roberts to sing, one of our guests for tonight. And let me just tell you a bit about John Roberts. I met him a few years ago when Tom Spears and Arthur and myself were across in Boston area or whatever, New York area. But John Roberts is from England originally, from the British Isles, raised in Worcestershire, but he had gone across to the States to study at Cornell, I think I'm right in saying, but folk music trapped him. And he lives in Schenectady, yes, it is Schenectady in New York State. And he used to sing with Tony Barron, maybe still does, now and again, and sings with various people. He's made a number of CDs, particularly keen on sea songs and so on, but English traditional songs from the Anglo-American tradition. So very much looking forward to having him. He's joined us a couple of times in the last year on the Zoom sessions. But first of all, before that, I'm going to ask Richard Spencer to sing. Richard, all right? Firstly, and then Kate Taylor, would that do? Kate Taylor. Richard and then Kate.
There we go. Right, I'll sing a little bit of a ballad from the Black Country. I get a lot of ballads from Birmingham, really. Hope it's not treading on John's toes, because it starts off in Worcester town in fair Worcestershire. Here we go. In Worcester city, in fair Worcestershire, a beautiful damsel she once lived there, and a young man came courting her, all for to be her dear, and he by his trade was a ship's carpenter. And the king wanted sailors to fight on the sea, which caused this young damsel to weep and to cry. Oh Billy, don't you go to sea, for don't you remember what you said to me? Then it's early one morning before the break of day, Billy called on Polly and unto her did say, oh Polly, you must go with me, before that we are married, my friends, for to see. And he led her through the woods, and through the valleys deep, which caused this young damsel to sigh and to weep. Oh Billy, you have led me astray, oh, for my innocent life to betray. Oh, it's true, these words that you do say, for all of this night I've been digging of your grave. And the grave being open, and Polly standing by, which caused this young damsel to weep and to cry. Oh Billy, oh pardon my life, for I will never covet all for to be your wife. I'll travel this country all for to set you free, if you will but pardon my baby and me. No pardon, there is no time to stand, with that a sharp knife was there in his hand. He stabbed her in the heart till her heart's blood did flow, and into the grave her poor body did throw, and he covered it over so neat and secure, that none would ever find it, of that he was sure. And he went on board his ship to sail the whole world round, before that her body ever was found. And it's early one morning before the break of day, the captain came on deck, and these words he did say: there's a murderer on board, and he must be found. The ship is in mourning, and will not sail on. Then up jumped one man, oh indeed it is not me, and indeed it is not me, sir, the rest of them did say. Then up jumped young Billy to stamp and to swear, indeed it is not me, sir, I vow and declare. But as he was turning from the captain with all speed, he met with pretty Polly, which caused his heart to bleed. She ripped him, she stripped him, she tore him in three, because that he'd murdered her baby, hadn't she? There we go. Cruel Ship's Carpenter.
Magnificent
stuff.
Thank you.
Woo! A great tale, that one. Great stuff. Thank you. Kate, are you ready for a song from Kate Taylor up in the northeast there?
Okay, I'm going to sing Sailing on the Sea. Okay. It's braw sailing on the sea, where the wind and the weather's fair, but it's better being in my true love's arms, gin the tie were there. It's better being in my true love's arms, gin the tie were there. There came a letter to stream, her shipman sailed the morn. Alas, alas, cried the pretty fair maid, that ever I was born, till I set out wi' my true love, and part wi' him in the morn. But he's gone to her father's house at 12 o'clock at noon, But the lassie being prude-hearted well, she wouldn't let him in. The lassie being prude-hearted well, she wouldn't let him in. It's broad drinking Dunbar beer, it's better drinking wine, but it's better being in my true love's arms. I've been mony's a time. It's better being in my true love's arms, where I've been mony's a time. And he's ta'en a ring for his pocket, saying it cost him guineas 3. Oh, tak ye this, my wheelfard lass, and I think we'll o' me. Oh, tak ye this, my wheelfard lass, and I think we'll o' me. But she's put the ring into his hand, saying it cost him shillings 9. Oh, tak it back, my bonny, bonny lad, for I hae changed my mind. Oh, tak it back, my bonny, bonny lad, for I hae changed my mind. It's braw sailing on the sea, where the wind and the weather's fair, but it's better being in my true love's arms, again that I were there. It's better being in my true love's arms, again that I were there.
Lovely.
Lovely. Great stuff. Thank you. A lovely song. Right, I'm very pleased now anyway to introduce John Roberts from Schenectady for a couple of songs. It'd be lovely to hear him again. We heard him for a song last night, and he's joined us a number of times in the last months, and it's been very welcome to hear him. So, John, welcome to our session again.
Thank you, Peter. Yes, we met at Old Songs. I think we met. My memory is it might have been the Philadelphia Festival in the early 1970s. Were you there then?
No.
I met you somewhere back in the 70s.
I think we did meet somewhere, but we met when we did meet at the Old Songs. I knew I'd met you previously, but I can't remember where it was.
Anyway, okay.
We might have met at Mariposa.
That's certainly possible. I went to a lot of those Mariposas.
We were there in 1971, 2, whatever it was.
And I was too. That must have been it.
We were great friends with Tom Kearney and so on, and we were part of the Friends of Fiddler's Green. But anyway, this is your spot.
Okay. Well, this is. I think I'm going to sing. Having been touted as an English traditional singer, or at least a singer of English traditional songs, this one is Irish, well known in Ulster. I think this version traces fairly directly to Paddy Tunney. It's Sweet William's Ghost, but I learned it from the singing of Sally Jennings, who at the time was Sally Killen, and she's been back as Sally Jennings for quite a while, and currently I'm still in touch with her. She lives in central Vermont. So this is Sweet William's Ghost, if I can find a note. Young Lady Margaret, she lay on her fine feather bed. The midnight hour drew near, when a ghostly form came into her room, and to her did appear, and to her did appear. Are you my father, the king? She said. Or are you my brother John? Or are you my own true love William, coming home from Scotland along, along, coming home from Scotland along? I am not your father, the king, he said, nor am I your brother John, but I am your own true love William, coming home from Scotland along, along, coming home from Scotland along. It's a Margaret, a lady Margaret, he cried, for love or for charity, will you give me back my plighted troth, which once, love, I gave thee, which once, love, I gave thee? I'll not give you back your plighted troth, nor any such a thing, until you bring me to my own father's hall, where oft times we have been, where oft times we have been. Then he's taken her to her own father's hall, and as they entered in, the gates flew open of their own free will, to let young William in, for to let young William in. Then Margaret, a lady Margaret, he cried, for love or for charity, will you give me back my plighted troth, which once, love, I gave thee, which once, love, I gave thee? I'll not give you back your plighted troth, nor any such a thing, until you take me to yon high churchyard, and marry me with a ring, and marry me with a ring. Then he's taken her to yon high churchyard, and as they entered in, the gates flew open of their own free will, to let young William in, for to let young William in. Then it's Margaret, Lady Margaret, he cried, for love or for charity, will you give me back my plighted troth, which once, love, I gave thee, which once, love, I gave thee? Then out of her pocket she drew a cross, and laid it upon his breast, saying, here is back your plighted troth, in heaven may your soul find rest, rest, in heaven may your soul find rest. Well, the wind does blow and the moorcock crow, It's nearly breaking day, and it's time that the living must part from the dead. So, my darling, I must away, away. So, my darling, I must away. Sweet William's Ghost.
Beautiful.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to come back to the north of England, and this is one that I heard many years ago, and I learned it from Derek Elliott. It's one of those hunt supper songs with a chorus that has absolutely no relation to the story of the verses, but for a hunt supper, you need a chorus to sing, and so this is one of those where everybody joins in, of course, in the chorus. And what I love about this kind of song is that when it's sung in its context, everybody knows what's coming, and the plot sort of moves along to its inexorable conclusion, is the way I feel it. And so it's got a bit of that in it. I know it is the Cornstalk. It was at an inn in Manchester, the Cornstalk was the sign, a famous public where commercials used to sleep and dine. One Christmas day a traveller, as often been his use, arrived to spend his holiday and choose his Christmas goose. All around the greenwood, so early in the morn, the merry, merry huntsman blows his silver bugle horn. He drank his pint of sherry wine, he smoked his mild cigar, he chatted with the customers a-seating at the bar. There was no thought of wickedness had entered in his head, until the chambermaid appeared to light his way to bed. All around the greenwood, so early in the morn, the merry, merry huntsman blows his cheerful bugle horn. At length he grew so amorous, he squeezed her on the stair. He kissed her by the chamber door before he said his prayers. He gave to her a guinea to prevent her being vexed, and then he blew the candle out, and you can guess the rest. All around the greenwood, so early in the morn, the merry, merry huntsman blows his silver bugle horn. Next day, this gay Lothario discharged his little bill. He tipped the boots and tossed the landlord for a parting gill. And where he went to afterwards, it's not for me to say. Suffice, he came to choose his goose again next Christmas Day. All around the greenwood, so early in the morn, the merry, merry huntsman blows his silver bugle horn. He walked into the coffee room as cheerful as can be, where lots of roosters like himself were waiting there for tea. He ordered of the very best the landlord could produce. He called the waiter back again, says, "Don't forget me goose." All around the greenwood, so early in the morn, the merry, merry huntsman blows his silver bugle horn. Right speedily a tray was brought with eatables galore, all by that self-same chambermaid he'd kissed 12 months before. Nothing loath, he raised the cloth 'neath which the food was piled. Instead of eatables, he found a big fat bumping child. All around the greenwood, so early in the morn, the merry, merry huntsman blows his silver bugle horn. Annoyed by others' laughter, "Oh, what's this here?" said he. "Come, sit ye down beside me, sir, and I'll tell you then," said she. "Last Christmas Day you generous were, oh, do not think it strange. You gave to me a guinea, sir, and I brought you back your change. All around the greenwood, so early in the morn, the merry, merry huntsman blows his silver bugle horn." Thank you.
Great.
Lovely. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Great stuff. Thanks very much. Yeah, that's absolutely lovely. A great song. I'm sure we could love joining in with that if we'd all been together in the pub or wherever. Wonderful. Right, I'm going to pass over to Jimmy now. Okay, Jimmy, for the
Thank you
next
very much, Peter.
session.
Yeah, it's going very well so far. So I've got the very pleasant duty of asking Scott, our other guest for tonight, to sing a couple of songs as well. But before that, I'll invite two of the singers that didn't make it last night because there's just so many people and it's just we ran out of time. So I'd like Douglas Hay to give us a song. First heard Douglas singing up at Portsoy a couple of years ago, and is a fine singer. And also a song from Stephanie Smith. So you can prepare yourself, Stephanie. But we'll go over first to Douglas. So you unmute yourself, Douglas, and give us a song. There you go.
Hello, you hear my Rashner?
That's grand.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's been a right fine thing around last night and the night. It's stunning stuff and totally professional folks. So here's a oral luna what I'll let it do in a wee bit, but never mind.
Not at all.
Anyway, I was going to do an all ballad. It's a Barnyards of Delgatee, but it's a Jimmy McBeath version. So I hadn't tried it in public before, so here we go. As I get up be Tara Market 40 feet, I met in wi' a wealthy farmer to the Barnyards of Delgatee. Leltenadi, Turenadi, Leltenadi, Turene. He promised me the twa best horse that ever get an iron sheen. But when I get to the Barnyards, there was nothing there but skin and bean. Leltenadi, Turenadi, Leltenadi, Turene. The old grey mare lay on her hunkers, the old dun horse lay on her wine, and for all that I could hop and cry, they wouldna rise at yoken time. Leltenadi, Turenadi, Leltenadi, Turene. Meg long Scott, she marks my bros, and her and me we can agree. Here's a mutton sign I cannot, and I the other splash o'bree. Leltenadi, Turenadi, Leltenadi, Turene. Jean McPherson marks my bed. You can see the marks upon my shins, for she's a coursal tricket jad, and she fills my bed wi' prickly whins. Leltenadi, Turenadi, Lautenadi Turene. Nu Barney's milk, it's nae so fine, and Barney's meal, it is gaira. And if you dinna boil the brie, well, the bros, they winna stop a bar. Lautenadi Turenadi, Lautenadi Turene. Nu Sarah vocht en Sarah vrocht, and I won my penny fee. Nu I'll get him just a way I come, and a better Bernie I will be. Lautenadi Turenadi, Lautenadi Turene. Hope that was that right now.
Good man, Douglas. Very well done. Good. Great. And we'll have a song now from Stephanie. Stephanie's been joining us quite a few times now through the months, so you're welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be here with you all. I just plain forgot last month, so I was feeling
you'll be forgiven.
I'm going to sing Mount and Go, and it's a version that I heard Gordina McCulloch sing with the Clutha. I had to go test the pitch because my vocal range has been wandering around lately. And so I hope I'll get this pitched right. My parents married me are young, Tan old Carl Baithald and dumb. His love was done and my news sprung in a fly. The plains we my laddie, oh, come bonny laddie, mount and go. Hey bonny laddie, mount and go. Come bonny laddie, mount and go. Mountain I'll gang we all. I will leave my good peat stack. Say would I, my good Kale Yard. Say would I, my old malt laird, and I'll fly the plains wi' my laddie, oh. Come bonny laddie, mount and go. Hey bonny laddie, mount and go. Come bonny laddie, mount and go. Mountain I'll gang we all. The old man he fell fast asleep, and new to his errands she quickly did creep, and the keys to the cabin she did keep, and she's flown the plains where laddie, oh. Come bonny laddie, mount and go. Hi bonny laddie, mount and go. Come bonny laddie, mount and go. Mountain I'll gang we all. The old man walking in the hall. The sheet was cold and she was awa. And the wächter selling Gaughan on, and she's flown the plains where laddie, oh. Come bonny laddie, mount and go. Hey bonny laddie, mount and go. Come bonny laddie, mount and go. Mountain I'll gang we all. You'll gang down to yon seashore, and you'll see a ship far she was afar, and ask at the skipper if she's been there, or if only you the sailors saw her, oh. Come bonny lad mountain go. Hey, bonny laddie, mountain go. Come, bonny laddie, mountain go. Mountain I'll gang we on. Fun there was sailing o'er the sea. She drank their health right merrily. She's tossed the wine glass into the sea. For joy she's won we're laddie oh. Come, bonny laddie, mountain go. Hey, bonny laddie, mountain go. Come, bonny laddie, mountain go. Mountain I'll gang we on. Fun they were landed o'er the lee. She was lady of 50 ploughs and 3. Lady of 50 ploughs and 3. And she dearly lose her laddie oh. Come, bonny laddie, mountain go. Hi, bonny laddie, mountain go. Come, bonny laddie, mountain go. Mountain I'll gang we on.
Great, well done. Thank you very much. Lovely.
Yeah.
Great. I'll scan along now and see if I can find young Scott. Oh, there he is there. Right.
Yep.
On my screen. So we saw a wee bit of Scott earlier on in the morning when Margaret showed us the 14-year-old Scott at a session in Keith kids session, and a lot of our age group know Scott from like he was when he had just in short breeks when he started coming to the festivals, and still occasionally he wears short trousers just to keep make the old guys feel a wee bit better about life. But through the years, he's always been a fine singer, and he's just getting better and better, I think. And he's so damn good that he keeps winning everything, to the point that they now make him a judge. So just to stop him winning everything all the time. So it's great to have him here tonight. Where are you, Scott, in Edinburgh?
Right, Jimmy, yes. I'm in Full Cross in Edinburgh here. Yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah.
I'll hand it over to you, and you can give us a couple of songs.
I'll maybe sing you.
Go on.
Okay, thanks, Jim. A song I learned from the great Geordie Anderson from Fife in Angus, and can you hear that? Okay, folks, is that correct?
I don't know, it's breaking up a wee bit, Scott, but just I don't know if there's anything anybody can do about that, so I would just crack on.
Turn off your video, Scott, it'll work better.
Yeah, turning off the
Right,
video
I'll just see
doesn't help it.
Oh, right. I'll sing a song called The Pernited Loon. What's that, sorry? Right. Often I was a little wee pernited loony, I was a cod silly little jockey. A day I was sitting in my granny's windowsill, eating sweeties wi' a brown paper pokey. By come a lassie who offered me a kiss, and offered never thinking scorning, but she bolted with my sweeties, caught my head through the glass, and my granny told me this next morning: you should never tie a knot in a bulldog's tail, man. Take a drink of water for a bucket or a pail, for it's plain to understand you bobby for a bob, that the rosy cheeky apples are I gotten on the top. A laddie eats with snuff and he's all granny's tea, but he snobbed it up himself, for she can't so to say. I'll turn it up and topney, though it's hobby card my ain, that the neck I'm never tickled with a snuff mill again. It's a sair thing, love, when it strikes you on the waistcoat. You think you're getting on so fine, man, and it's hoo-ha-hee when you find you've been courting another laddie's lassie at the time, man. Living like a jube sprinkled there with sugar, as another fella turns to Zurich's altogether. It's on a side like the handle of a jug, called kale early in the morning. When a lad gets his mark for Cupid's little arrow, it's like hurling in a perambulator down the hill of Barra. Although you wouldn't hear it's like lying on a rock with 1,000 magna humples feet crawling up your back. It's aye the biggest sheep gets smoothed among the snaw when you're fishing. It's aye the biggest fish that wins a war. A certain lassie that you would like to pet, that's just the very een you maybe share you wanna get. Nu eens get the ball and the all to a riddle. You've never seen his money bonny dainties. I was up to my oxters among marmalade and pickle, as happy as a craw among the tatties. Big lassies, small lassies, short lassies, tall lassies, all sorts of lassies for to blend me. And flew the ball was little Polly Perkins, that's a girl I was forced to leave behind me. Now eens get my aunties with a bag of yellow haddocks. Other loonies leathered me and filled my bag with puddocks. Guys said the soul I could say with it. So I thought this time that it greasy good. Polly said she'd marry me and nae other body. So I kissed pretty Polly, but she never gave it cheap. And Polly ran a wall with a lantern shafted soldier, with a face as yellow as a boiled Swede neep. No, you've never seen a wreck like my old horse Dubbin. You could hang your jacket on his hardies. He was broken in the wind, and Fanny tried to run, made a racket like a dozen hardy guardies. Went to the market and swap it fair with a collie Polly charges for the soothman, but I didn't know what my blocking. Although was mighty dry, fear he be finning out the truth, man. Nu I fairly thought that in a clever trick he knew. Sick of coping out the tail, I never did expect. Fair Friesly old money with roly-poly face, like a gingerbread ribbit with a clout round his neck. I went to the market and swap it, do you see? When my ain old Dublin farm was blind upon a knee, come home for the market just as truthy as a Sith. On a fill he did jigger, for I was blind upon them both.
Well done.
Hearing that,
Well
folks?
done.
Jimmy, is that coming through?
Yeah.
Jimmy?
It's yeah,
That's
but I
fine,
can't
Scott.
see you. I don't know what's happened there.
That you've got a reasonable sound. Just leave the speaker, leave the vision off, and your sound's not too bad at all.
It's just like a recording of yourself. Go on, carry on. Well,
Switch to. Okay, I'll while our luck's holding it.
Go on.
Right, I'll sing you one I learned from Ted Politillo at the various muchty competitions over the years. Great song, Cairnamite. As I hey goodbye on Brigodai, and a hurry on Hello Broom, a lassie sang recht merrily, just as the sun gaed down. It's Cairnamount is bleak and bare,
and called his clock na ben. And you can see the snarly there along the summer's end. I lifted off my by her side, saying, Lassie, I have lost my way among yon moors sae wide. It's warm o'er your face sae fair, your een sae bonny blue. The longest night I blithely share to kiss your cherry moon. Oh, lassie, wad ye gang with me and leave your Caldrich glen? We are my kin, ye'll bear the gree, there's wealth baith bot and ben. Wi silks and satins, busket bra, and ribbons to your hair. And maids to answer when ye ca', who can ye wish for me? Oh, lassie, ye mun think a wee, my lands they're far and wide. I've golden banks and ships at sea, so come and be my bride. My feather left me lairdship's twa, a coach at my command. And I'll mak your lady o'er the ma, if ye'll gie me your hand. As Cairnamount is bleak and bare, you're no a match for me. My Donald, he is a my care, ride on and let me be. He meets me on yon hill sae green, his heart is leal and true. If Donald heard my angry shouts, he shin would gar ye rue. But lassie, think your Donald's poor, is neither horse nor coo. A shepherd struggling on yon moor, he's no a match for you. It's Cairnamount is bleak and bare, and cold as cloch na ben. I would rather meet my Donald there than be fair Scotland's queen. Then, lassie, I am loath to tell you throw your love awa'. Your Donald brawly kens himsel, lest gloamin' what I saw. As I ride by on Sheeland door, I spied a Hieland maid. Your Donald kissed her o'er and o'er, and rowed her in his blade. Though you would swear wi' solemn oath what you have told to me, I would not doubt my Donald's word, but say false loon ye lee. It's heasting off his lowland gear, came doon his yellow hair, saying, lassie, you've been true to me, and shin we'll part nae mair. Nae mair am shepherd on yon moor, but laird yon the dee. And since ye hae been true to me, I'll aye prove true to ye. It's Cairnamount is bleak and bare, and cold as cloch na ben. And you can see the snarly there along the summer's end.
Hey.
Lovely.
Sorry, the broadband letting us down here.
We can let you see. You can let us see us again. Let us see you again, Scott.
Bring your bonny face back on.
Hello.
Great. Okay, I'm handing over to, not sure really, to Pete.
No, back to
no,
Chris.
to Chris. Okay, thanks. You there, Chris? Oh, there she is, Chris. Hi, you're on now. Yeah.
My wee hand that was showing, that means it was too slow. I was looking around and seeing people that I haven't seen here before, and thinking I want to invite somebody new, and I wondered if Richard Kaplan would be up for a song.
No.
No, you don't want to sing. And also Louise Chambers. That's a new name for me.
Hi, I'm introduced by my dad in Aberdeenshire, John Folks.
Oh yes.
And this is my first time in listening to your music, so I'm just listening, and I can't sing.
Okay, I didn't know that. Richard, you were going to say something there.
Oh, okay. Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Okay, this is I think this song goes back about 400 years in England, by Henry Purcell. Here let my life with as much silence slide as time that measures it does glide. Here let my life with as much silence slide as time that measures it does glide. Nor let the breath of infamy or fame from town to town echo about my name, nor let my homely death embroidered be with scutcheon or with elegy. An old plebeian, let me die. An old plebeian, let me die. Alas, all then are such as well as I. Alas, 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 all then are such as well as I.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely. I'm glad
Honored to sing for you all. Thank you.
Lovely. Can I then ask Dougie Mackenzie if you would sing a song?
Great.
Can you hear me, Dougie?
Yeah, Chris, cut you out.
Sorry for the short notice.
That's okay. That's all right. You know, I think we're all prepared. But no, that's fine. What we've got to do. I've missed a lot of it as I was working. But has anyone done the Queen Among the Heather?
Nope.
No.
Okay then. That's good. I'll do it then. I don't know what I've just been tinkering with my my fancy new camera thing here that Tom Spears told me to get. So I don't know what I'm looking like.
You're looking lovely.
Jimmy, that I will never be. There you go. Oh, I'm okay. Okay, Queen Among the Heather. Not altogether certain where this version came from. It's a version I sang way back in the day, and when I started singing again, all these songs just started coming back. So I've no real remembrance of where this came from. But anyway. It was downy on dark and lonely glen, water stands monies, that lofty mountain, far frae the busy Honsel man. It's a day as I get out hunting. A happy day it was to be, the day I spied my roving fancy. Oh, she was herding sheep on a yonder hill. It was there I spied my lovely Nancy. When her coat was white and her gown was green, her waist it was so small and slender, with her rosy cheeks and her ruby lips. It was there my heart it ceased to wonder. Oh, lassie, will ye come with me and lie upon a bed of feathers? Oh, it's silks and satins you will wear if you'll leave your sheep among the heather. Oh, kind sir, your offers good, but I think it's a mountain laughter. Oh, for you must be some rich squire's son. Oh, and I am but a poor shepherd's daughter. Oh, I've been to balls and masquerades. I've been to London and Balquhidder. I the bonniest lass that e'er I spied. Oh, she was herding sheep among the heather. Oh, it's her I sought, and her I got, and we her I live contented. Oh, it's her I sought, and her I got. So farewell, adieu, my song is ended. Queen Among the Heather.
Man, well sung.
Very good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was lovely, Dougie.
Was it ever?
So I've given myself the job of following that now.
Oh, you manage that, no problem. Thanks all.
I've seen all of the things that were possibilities for me disappearing last night and tonight, but maybe I'll get this one before somebody else sings it. Pitching it. Last year at Lady Mary's Fair, when I was in Dundee, I fell and we and all sweetheart, and he been on the spree. His company I did accept, and with him I did go. All to my sad misfortune, for it proved my overthrow. We wandered east, we wandered west, we wandered round the law. He said that he would take me home, but him I never saw. He stopped beside me all the time, resolved to his will, and by we lost our way at the back o' Rear's Hill. And when we got to Rear's Hill, this laddie says to me, we can't go home this night, my dear, it's for our late, you see. But the night is warm and in my pooch I hae another joe. So we mun bide contented here at the back o' Rear's Hill. We had another nap apiece to quiet our alarms. And when I woke in the morning, we were locked in each other's arms. He handed me the bottle, another glass he fell, and I drank his health and store of wealth at the back o' Rear's Hill. And syne this laddie says to me, oh lassie, dinna mourn, for whiles I hae the breath o' life, for you I'll never turn. And if you'll come down to yonder town, my wedded wife to be, we'll be the happiest couple yet that e'er was in Dundee. So may I never prosper, and may I never thrive in anything I take in hand, as long as I'm alive. If e'er I say I rue the day my laddie had his will, success to Lady Mary's Fair, and the back o' Rear's Hill.
Brilliant.
Oh, lovely, Chris.
Thank you. I'll hand you back to Pete now.
That was great. That was great. Well, this is the little surprise that is not entirely a surprise because I haven't announced it yesterday. But about 30 years ago, I was asked to put together some selection of traditional songs for a ballet to be done by Scottish Ballet, with the choreography done by someone we knew well at the time, Royston Maldoom, who worked with Arts in Fife at the time. And I've had that video recording on a videotape of that ever since, and I just thought it would be really nice to present that. So that's what we're going to do right now. We haven't asked Scottish Ballet's permission, by the way. I hope they'll be very pleased if they find out about it. But the songs that we have got on it, which this is the main reason really, is because of the songs on it, but it's beautifully presented with this lovely ballet stuff that's done with dancers illustrating the song's storylines. So the first song was Shoals of Herring, which of course was written by MacColl. We kind of rewrote some of the words to make it more Scottish than it was, and it's sung here by Dick Gaughan playing guitar and the guitar intro as well. And then a walking song sung by Christina Shaw and the Women of Harris, which was from the School of Scottish Studies recordings in the 1950s, followed by the song The Magdalen Green, sung by Rod Sinclair and the Danish band Kontraband. Rod lives in Ribe, and that was where we recorded the song in Denmark. But the song actually came from Eck Harley, which is the same place, the same singer that provided that last song that Chris sang, the Baccareris Hill. That song, Eck Harley of Cooper, who was a shepherd and worked on the farms and used to go across to Dundee on the train, which you couldn't go across on the road at that time, there was no bridge, went across on the train on a Saturday to visit the Poets Box sheet to pick up a single sheet of, or several sheets of the songs that he rather liked singing, and that was a song he had heard and fancied the words, and he had a Poets Box sheet with a single sheet with our words of that on it, and it's become quite well known around here as a result perhaps of Eck Harley's version. So he also sang a song, The Magdalen Green, which I sing, and Rod Sinclair from St Andrews learnt that as well. And finally finishing off with mouth music, or diddling, Lowland Scots diddling, by Willie Fraser. Now Willie Fraser was a postman in Aberlour, a mouth organ player of great standard. He was recorded by Topic, and also diddling was recorded by Topic, but he was a great friend of the TMSA. He helped to start the Elgin Bothy Ballad Championships back in the 1970s, I think it was. And he here also sings Bonnie Lass Camar the Burn. Now, we never recorded him singing many songs, but you'll be really impressed with his singing here. So I'm going to do a screen share, and hopefully this will work. I'm going to mute everyone so there's no opportunity of interruptions coming in. If you want to remove the video little screen in the top right-hand corner while this is happening, you can choose to do that from your own screen, I think. So I'm going to mute everyone right now, and I'm going to do a screen share. I'm still not muted, but I will mute myself in a minute.
Your nets give more fair on the wide and wasteful ocean. It's there on the deep that we harvest and reaper bread as we hunt the bonny shores ahead. Oh, it was a fine and a pleasant day. Out of Eyemouth Harbour I was faring as a cabin boy on a sailing lugger. We're off, they hunt the shores ahead. Now the work was hard and the hours were long, and the treatment surely took some bearing. There was little kindness and the kicks were many as we hunted for the shores ahead. Oh, we fished the May and the Berwick bank. I was cook and I'd a quarter sharing, and I used to sleep standing on my feet and a dream about the shores ahead. Oh, we left the home ground in the month of June, and for canny shields we soon were bearing by 100 cran, oh, the silver darlings that we'd taken from the shores ahead. Now you're up on deck, you're a fisherman, you can swear and show a manly bearing. Take your turn on watch with the other fellas as you're following the shores ahead. Through the stormy seas and the living gales, just to earn your daily bread, you're daring. From the Dover Straits to the Faroe Islands, while you're following the shores ahead. Oh, I earned my keep and I paid my way, and I earned the gear that I was wearing. Sailed 1,000,000 miles, caught 10 million fishes. We would fall in the shores ahead. Night and day we're faring. Come winter wind or winter gale, sweating or cold, growing up, growing old and dying as you hunt the bonny shores ahead.
Karamine
Oh, here I am, a stranger, just newly come from sea. My ship, she lies at anchor in the harbour o' Dundee. Your face, it is the fairest that ever I hae seen. Oh, fair maid, will you walk with me down by the Magdalen green? With a roguish smile upon her face, she answered me and said, kind sir, I'd go along with you, but you know I am afraid. The paths, they are so slippery, and the night is cold and keen. It would not do for me to fall down by the Magdalen but with kind words and promises, along with me she won. We wandered here, we wandered there, on love and pleasure bent. Day after day, we met and roved about that pleasant sea. But I fear that maid had many to fall down by the Magdalen green. But soon the time for parting came, and my ship she hoisted sail. No longer could we meet and rove and tell love's pleasant tale. We said farewell to old Dundee, where I had happy been, and she was left to walk alone down by the Magdalen green. of a darling little son. And in my dreams his mother too right plainly could be seen, and she was weeping bitterly by the Magdalen green. When my ship puts in again at the harbour of Dundee, I'll roam the tune, bait up and doon, till my darling girl I see. I'll ask her to forgive me for the rascal I have been, and we will make it up again by the Magdalen green.
Bonny lass come over the burn, I'm the lad will be a turn. Bonny lass come over the burn, fat to the volley. Bonny lass come over the burn, I'm the lad will be a turn. Bonny lass come over the burn, fat to the volley. Bonny lass come by my side, I'm the lad will be a pride. Bonny lass come by my side, fat to the volley. Bonny lass come by my side, I'm the lad will be a pride. Bonny lass come by my side, fat to the volley. Fiddle out the do the day, down the dee do the day, fiddle out the do the dee do the dee day dum, fiddle out the do the day, down the dee do the day, fiddle out the do the dee do the dee day dum, dee do the day, dee do the day, dee do the day, Bow down, touch the ground, touch the ground, touch the ground. Bow down, touch the ground, kiss the boy we lost. Bow down, touch the ground, touch the ground, touch the ground. Bow down, touch the ground, kiss the boy we lost. Teedle dum dee dee dee, teedle dum dee dee dee, teedle dum dee dee dum, teedle dum dee dee dee, teedle dum dee dee, teedle dum dee dee dum, teedle all the doodle dee, tell the doodle dee, teedle all the doodle dee, dum dee dee dum, teedle all the doodle dee, tell the doodle dee, teedle all the doodle dee, dum dee dee dum, teedle doodle dee, teedle doodle dee, teedle dee, tell the dee dum, teedle doodle dee, teedle doodle dee, teedle dee, tell the dee dum, teedle all the dee, teedle all the doodle dee, dum, teedle all the do, teedle all the doodle dee, dum, teedle all the doodle dee, teedle all the doodle dee, teedle all the doodle dee, dum, teedle all the doodle dee, teedle all the doodle dee, teedle all the doodle dee, dum.
That's fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant.
That was wonderful, Pete.
Wasn't it just?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fabulous. Thank you.
Something different.
Great.
Really enjoyed that.
Excellent.
Excellent, Pete.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Brilliant, Pete. Well done. Thank you.
I didn't recognise you, Pete, but I thought I saw Lena.
Well, to be honest, that's the first time I've seen it for 30 years. So I only made sure it was working. It is brilliant. It's brilliant, and I think it well deserves to be seen. And I think the diddling of Willie Fraser's mouth control,
That's remarkable singing, wasn't it?
Voice control is superb.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just wish we should have recorded more of him. But I mean, he was at all the festivals. He came to the Kinross Festival many times, and as I said, we tried to get him to set up a TMSA festival up in the up in Inverness, and he ended up being quite significantly responsible for starting the Bothy Ballad Championships at Elgin. Anyway.
Pete, before you, you know what I'm going to say? Pete and Jimmy and I have been working together doing this sort of stuff for a long time, but the truth of the matter is that Pete thinks up most of it. Jimmy and I
very much so.
Now and again get a word in edgeways, usually to say, "Aye, right, Pete, that's a great idea." But really, you know how to put on a show, and just month after month, you just come up with more interesting stuff, and I think we're all the beneficiaries of that. I just can't imagine what more treasures you could possibly have in your cupboard. But please keep on bringing them out.
Well, having said that, we are going to have a break for the summer.
Well, that'll be because you need to get into the back of the attic or something, I would think. But I mean, I just think that was absolutely breathtaking.
Wasn't it just great? Yeah.
On the verge of incredible emotional uproar at the moment with that.
Well, I don't have any other similar ones that I can think of, but that is brilliant. I agree. It was superb. Yeah, it was.
The dancing and the song was just,
Yes,
all of it was
absolutely.
just beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where Royston is at the moment. I think he's in Germany. Someone said, is that right? I'm not sure. He lives in Berlin, but he was working with Arts in Fife. Arts in Fife was quite an organisation back in the 70s. It had its own funding apart from the Arts Council and so on, and it put on various things. It put on, I mean, I put on a couple of things with Eck Harley and others doing singers for just an event, special concerts and so on. Anyway,
yeah, Fife is not better for its demise.
no, it is a pity they didn't still fund that, but it ceased some long
All
years
the
ago now.
regional arts were better funded back then, all across the country.
Yeah.
I want to say, as a singer, I was absolutely transformed by singing. I sing almost always unaccompanied songs, and when I heard Magdalen Green set to some kind of visual interpretation with the beautiful music behind it, I'd never seen what was in my head as a singer turned into something so evocative, lovely. And I was seeing it as a singer was loving a song done into another medium.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Pete Shepard's next version of that song with dance movement.
Mute all. I thought I would sing a ballad, and then I'll ask a couple of other people to sing. This is a song well, Lena and I used to go visiting the Stewart family in Blairgowrie, and we loved going to visit them because not only could we hear lovely songs from them, but they would introduce us to some of their relatives, traveller families that were camping on the berry fields, but also told us about other people we should go and see. And one of the people that Lena and I went to see, one of the persons we went to go and see was an old lady whose name was Peasy Reed. She was known as Peasy Reed. Martha was her proper name, and she lived on the Burnham side of Dunkeld, in old Dunkeld, I suppose. And in amongst a number of travellers lived in an old house with many rooms. It must have been I think it was a school or something, or a country house that was converted. But anyway, it was now lived in by travellers. And this old lady lived in a single room, a couple of rooms maybe, on top of a stair into the side of the house. And we went and asked where she was, and said, oh, up that stair. So up we went into a room, and as was mentioned earlier on today, when Doc was talking about Jane Turriff and recording Jane Turriff with ticking clocks going off all over the place, that was exactly the same in this house. They had a fire going, and she had a new husband with her, because her first husband had died, I think, and his name was Duncan Johnston. And anyway, they had a fire going, and they sang songs, and we had many ballads and songs in the single evening. And so this is one of Duncan's ballads. Here it goes. Riddle me, dear mother, he says. Come riddle me all alone, oh, whether should I marry the Dunbroon bride, or bring fair Annie home, oh. Oh, the Dunbroon bride, she's horse and kye, fair Annie, she's got nae, no. So if you'd tak your old mother's advice, you'd bring the Dun bride home, oh. So he's dressed himself all in the green, and his merry men all in white, oh. And every town that they come to, they took him for a night, oh. And when he come to Fair Annie's gates, he tinkled at the pin, oh. There was none so ready as Fair Annie herself to rise and let him in, oh. Oh, you're welcome here, Flo Thomas, she says. What news would you tell me, oh? I am come to bid ye to my wedding, but that's sad news to ye, oh. Oh, it's gey sad news to me, she says. It's gey sad news to me, oh. Oh, it's gey sad news to me, she says. That should have been the bride herself, oh. Then he asks his mother opinion. She asks her mother's opinion. Oh, riddle me, dear mother, she says, riddle me all alone, oh, whether should I go to Lord Thomas's wedding, or should I stay at home, oh? Oh, Lord Thomas, he has friends enough, fair Annie, ye've got nae, no, so if you'd tak your old mother's advice, you would just now stay at home, oh. But she's dressed herself all in the white, and her merry maids all in green, oh, and every town that they come to, they took her for a queen, oh. And when she come to Lord Thomas's gates, she tinkled at the pin, oh, there was none so ready as Lord Thomas himself to rise and let her in, oh. Oh, he took her by the lily white hand, and he kissed her on the chin, oh, and he sat her in a golden chair amongst her merry maids all, oh. Then up and spak the Dunbroon bride, and oh, so bold, says she, oh, oh, where did you get that watery flower that washed you so white, oh? Then up and spak fair Annie dear, never heard to speak so free, oh, oh, I got it in my mother's womb, where you never saw such like, oh. Oh, the Dunbroon bride had a wee penknife that hung down by her side, oh, and she's reared it through the Dunbroon bride, and ne'er a word she cried, oh. Oh, Lord Thomas, he has a gay broadsword that hung down by his side, oh, and he's reared it through the Dunbroon bride, and ne'er a word she cried, oh. Oh, dig a grave, Lord Thomas, he says, and dig it wide and deep, oh, and bury fair Annie at my side, and the Dun bride at my feet, oh. There we go.
Very good. Excellent ballad. Yeah.
Right. Now, let's get back on the road again. I have not decided in advance of that who to ask. I thought Geordie Murison. How about a song from Geordie? And after that, Margaret Bennett, if she's there. Would that do? Geordie.
Thank you, Pete. No, I thought that was great here, your wee clip there. Willie Fraser, actually, his diddling was brilliant, but he actually was a piper before he lost a lot of fingers in one hand, if you remember, and then he got on to playing the mouth organ. So
yes.
Anyway, I'll do a wee ballad for you here. At the mill of Tifty there lived a man in the neighbourhood of Fife. He'd a lovely daughter dear, her name was Bonnie Annie. New Fivey he had a trumpeter, his name was Andrew Lammy. He dared he won the heart of Tifty's Bonnie Annie. Lord Fivey he laid by the door, for bed were Tifty's Annie. His trumpeter he read on the floor, 'twas that same Andrew Lammy. Your mother cried her to the door, come here to me, my Annie. Did I see her bonnier man than the trumpeter of Fivey? Oh, sighing sair, but said nae mair. Alas for bonny Annie, she could nae own, her heart was won by bonny Andrelamy. At nacht van Hagen to the bed, sleep it soon, but honey, her tender breast I sair oppressed, for thinking on Andrelamy. Nu van first my love and I we met, 'twas in the woods of Fife. He called me mistress, I said no, I'm Dafty's bonny Annie. Nu it's up and down through Fife's woods, for the burn runs clear and bonny. Oft times there I met my love, I'm a bonny Andrelamy. Nu her father he come to hear of this, and all let her rot to Fife, to say his daughter been bewitched, be his servant Andrelamy. Oh, Fife he could by the door, for tales ye bonny honey, ach it's all for love that cast down, for loving Andrelamy. Ach, Tafty, ye consent, and let your daughter marry. 'Twould need to be to a higher degree than your servant Andrelamy. Oh, if he'd been born, as rich a kin as ye are rich in beauty, I would hate ye for myself, made ye lady of Fife. Ach, your Fife lands, they are far and wide, and they are wondrous bonny, but I would not give my him true love for your lands of Fife. Nu that's her feather struck her sair, and likewise did her mother. Her sisters both did chide, but ways me for her brother. Her brother struck a wondrous sair, we cruel strokes and money. He broke her back on the temple steen, the temple steen of Fife. Oh, mother, father, sisters are, who say cruelty your Annie. My heart at first been broke, beloved. Nu my brothers broke my body. Mother, mother, my bed, and turn my face to Fife. For it's there here I'll lie and here I'll be. Oh, for loving Andrelamy.
Wonderful, Jordy.
Very good. Great ballad.
Wonderful.
That's beautiful.
That's fine. Lovely. Thanks very much. Margaret, are you there for a song?
Well, I am. Yes, I was having such a lovely time listening and watching it. I was sitting
Great.
behind my primroses for a while there.
Great. Well, that's
Well,
something from you, whatever you like, please. That'd be
okay.
great.
Well, gosh, we've had two pretty heavy ballads, and neither of them are very happy endings. This is only marginally happier than the Dundee Bride, and it's a lot happier than the Miller Tifty's Annie, but it doesn't have an awfully happy. We don't know that it's got a happy ending. It's a song of unrequited love. The usual story. Her sweetheart's away at sea, and she's waiting for a letter, and never very sure if the letter's going to come. And this one is from the outer islands. I'm not sure if the person is from Lewis or Harris, but she has her back to Harris facing Lewis, which would be geographically quite correct, and says, I'll go to the moors, and if the tears wet my shoes, I won't tell anyone of my sadness. I'll just, and she dreams of her sweetheart. And then the last verse is, I'll wait for his letter coming on the boat. She names the boat, so we know it's about early 20th century. And then when the letter arrives, I'll write back, but not with ink, but with the blood of my heart, which is warmer. Anyhow, and remember who I learned the song. I suppose Christina Shaw singing there was sort of inspired me to think of some Gaelic songs. So here we are. Ryan Chico, Hurebo and Chico Rai, Hurebo and Chico Plian, Nanjico Shiri Brach, noch Gribianten Herrig. Magdi ferren park, kiene larsi chingig made, gulmolanan dolpas, Hurebo Ryan Chico, Hurebo Chico Rai, Hurebo Chico Plian, Nanjico Shiri Brach. Honig mi oor smochabil, stootjin gachier se blad, let och la joken la zich gepound am meer in seva. Hurebo Ryan Chico, Hurebo Chico Cry, Hurebo Chico Plian, Nanjico Shiri Brach. No arich mi ganavani, Been a jar reikalad, get any gat movroken, Halek me movron rikach, Hurebo Ryan Chico, Hurebo Chico Grai, Hurebo Chico Plian, Nanjico Shiri Brach. Nam dictol rita lichter, in gila eiche vart, mina skrivisjes linke, full mocheri ship of light, Hurebo Ryan Chico, Hurebo Chico Rai, Hurebo Chico Plian, Nanjico Shiri Brach.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Very nice.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right, that's lovely, Margaret. Thanks very much. I thought I would ask John Roberts back now. John, are you there? Are you there,
Yes.
John? Yes, great. John Roberts for another couple of songs.
Okay, thank you. I have to say, for me, the highlight of the ballet, and for Lisa, my partner, was hearing Dick Gaughan sing the Shoals of Herring. It was absolutely gorgeous. And so this is, I'll have the temerity to sing you a Scottish song, though it was collected by Louis Killen when he was Louis, Louisa Joe Killen. Collected it in the 1950s in the Northumbrian Hills, so it has English connections. And a lot of people have sung this and recorded it. Come, fill the complants, drink about this night will merry be. For friendship and for harmony, likewise, my comrades three, to meet again some other night, my secret joy reveal. For I now must stray so far away, till fortune turns the wheel. Not for love, nor gold, nor dress, I'll take my estimate of man. But when I meet a friend in need, I'll stretch a helping hand. To him I'll drink, for him I'll fight, to him my mind reveal. And friends we'll stay, whatever way blind fortune turns the wheel. But it's some of my pretended friends, if friends you may them call, they falsely turned their back on me when mine was at the wall. Yet in a glass I'll let it pass, you'll ken I wish them well, that some day I may that debt repay, when fortune turns the wheel. And it's of a lovely lassie, oh, it's her I'll justly blame. When dark misfortune frowned on me, she denied she knew my name. But friendship by remorse is past, to her I'll never kneel. I'll sweethearts find, both true and kind, when fortune turns the wheel. Oh, ye dewy hills of Caledon, likewise sweet Cockadale, where friendship binds the firmest ties, love tells the sweetest tale. Here's to my friends and to my foes, you'll ken I wish them well, that we all may meet some other night, when fortune turns the wheel. In remembrance of Louisa Joe.
Very good. Yeah, lovely.
I'm going to have the temerity, to indulge myself, I think, and I'm afraid I'm going to accompany myself for a song, if people don't mind, because I always do it this way. I wanted to sing you a version of the Golden Vanity. There are hundreds and hundreds of versions of the Golden Vanity, many of them quite different, and all of them absolutely wonderful. I can sing three, but this was the second one I learned, and I learned it from Margaret MacArthur, a dear friend from Vermont, and it came to her from the Helen Flanders collection, and it was sung by a singer named Grammy Smith, Grammy, that's an apple, Grammy Fish, Lena Bourne Fish of southern New Hampshire, who sang for Flanders and also sang for the Frank and Anne Warner, but she didn't give them this one. So this is a version of called The Weeping Willow Tree, and it has a slightly different ending, which people suspect that she might have written because she didn't like the original one, but here you go. A sailing ship was fashioned to sail the southern seas, down in the lowlands low. She was handsome, she was tall, and as trim could be. The name of the ship was the Weeping Willow Tree. This ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high-ho. Her crew were hearty seamen, as brave could be, lads from the lowlands low. Her decks were broad and wide, and as white could be, and on her sail was printed a weeping willow tree. This ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high-ho. This worthy ship was chosen to sail the Spanish Main, far from the lowlands low. Her captain, he was shrewd, he was also proud and vain. He hoped by his shrewd dealings a fortune for to gain. In this ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high-ho. And as our ship was sailing all on the southern seas, far from the lowlands low, we met a Spanish ship called the Royal Castelli. They jeered at the crew of the Weeping Willow Tree. This ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high-ho. The captain called his cabin boy as he had done before, a lad from the lowlands low. He said, "Boy, you can swim, and your stroke is swift and sure. That sassy Spanish ship, she'll never reach the shore. You'll sink her in the ocean, low, 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 sink her in the ocean alone. In your hand you'll take an auger and swim to her side, for we're from the lowlands low. And there you'll bore a hole, and you'll bore it deep and wide, for £500 in gold to be first mate beside. You'll sink her in the ocean, low, 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 sink her in the ocean alone. So that was the end of the Royal Castelli. She sank in the ocean low. Her lofty sail so high, and her haughty air so free, they were buried in the depths of the raging southern seas. We sunk her in the ocean, low, 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 sunk her in the ocean alone. And the cabin boy exclaimed, "Sir, I now demand my fee. You're knave from the lowlands low. £500 in gold you now must give to me, and I also am first mate of the Weeping Willow Tree, that ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high-ho. You'll get no gold from me, boy, for causing this wreck. You thief from the lowlands low." And he took the cabin boy by the nape of the neck, and he threw him overboard from the Weeping Willow's deck. He threw him in the ocean, low, 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 he threw him in the ocean alone. But he still carried the auger as he had done before, this lad from the lowlands low. His heart was full of vengeance, and his stroke was swift and sure. Instead of boring one hole, he bored 24 in that ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high-ho. This ship was 200 leagues from the shore, far from the lowlands low. The captain and his crew, they never reached the shore, and the wild seemed to say, fare thee well forevermore, to that ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high home. But one brave hearty seaman escaped the raging sea. 'Twas the lad from the lowlands low. He was picked up by a ship, so it has been told to me, and he told to us the tale of the weeping willow tree. That ship built in the lowlands, low, 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 born to ride the waves high home. Weeping Willow Tree.
Absolutely brilliant. Great stuff.
Great.
Fantastic. Lovely version.
Thank you
Lovely
for
version.
inviting me. I appreciate it very much. It's lovely to be with you all.
We've very much enjoyed, all of us have very much enjoyed your songs. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Right, I'm going to pass over to Jimmy now. Okay, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you very much. I had to be muted there because I was starting to sing along with John. I beg your pardon. It's a good version, yeah. Right, before I ask Scott to do another couple of songs in his guest role tonight, I'd like to invite Michael Alpert to give us a song, and also, because she sang so well last night, I'd also like to invite Joan Frankel to give us a song as well. So Michael first, Joan then, and then we'll have a couple of songs from Scott. So over to you, Michael.
Great, thank you, Jimmy. And thank you. Wonderful to be here with all of you once again. What came to mind to me is to sing a Yiddish love song, but definitely of unrequited love. And it's the kind of old tale of the mother-daughter dialogue, where the mother tells the daughter, "Come in already, come inside. It's the clock has already struck 12, and your father will be angry." And the daughter says, "Mother, let me stay outside. Let me stay outside with him just a little bit longer. I'm a young woman with good sense and wisdom and understanding, and I want to be able to pursue this love." And after which there's a couple of beautiful verses where the daughter says, "There are many musicians on the open meadow, mother, many musicians playing, but I played my hand at love and lost. I mean, there's but one jewel in this world that I've seen and I can't forget, but I don't know how to find it again." So, but the first verse says, "Is die Fischelach in Wasser," the fish in the river, and it says rather unrealistically, fish in the river have it much better because among them there's no difference between large and small, which of course we know is not the case. But that itself speaks to the inequalities of social inequalities, and why in the system of arranged marriage people weren't allowed to necessarily marry who they wanted. Still true today in a lot of places. Die Fisch alach in a Wasser, oi sie is viel besser, but sie is nicht kein Unterschied von kleiner bis zum größer. Die Fisch alach in a Wasser, sie is viel besser, but sie is nicht kein Unterschied von kleiner bis zum größer. The song comes from Tsunya Reimer from southwestern Ukraine, who I knew him in the Bronx many years later. Neue Tochter, Zbadarfa zoi nizan, der Zeger o Chenze Welgi schlugen, Kimin ischi barain. Der Zeger o Chenze Welgi schlugen, Hob moire far dem Toten, Kim je schuin ischi barain, Si vedir gur nischaten. Oy vey mame, verzap mir nit man belit. Oy lo mach mit ihm reden, oy chocha pur minit. Bin a meidal fin verstand, seichel in gedanken, a liebe spiel, otzach mir vergelist, ich kenn dus nicht, der Langen, ich bin a Meidl, find Verstand, Meidling, Seichling, Gedanken, a Liebe Spiel, was sag mir vergelist, ich kenn dus nicht der Langen. Oi, viel Musikanten spielen, Mome, auf dem freien Feld. Ich hab verspielt meine Leib, Mame, ich hab verspielt meine Welt. Ich hab verspielt meine Leib, Mame, Suris und Aschir. Ziba Schraben, meine Laden, kleckt nicht kein Papier. Ich hab verspielt meine Leben, Mome, Zuris und Aschir. Ziba Schraben, meine Laden, kleckt nicht kein Papier. Hoi, viel Brillanten, Mame, meine, hab ich schon gesehen. Nur wenn ich a Kirch sag, zieht sie sie, sannen sie gemein. Nur ein Brillant, Mame, meine, liegt mir nur in Sinnen. Oi, wie ich geh, en wie ich steh, ich kann ihm nicht gefinnen. Nur ein Brillant, oi, Mame, meine, liegt mir nur in Sinnen. Oi, wie ich geh, en wie ich steh, ich kann ihm nicht gefinnen. Also.
Great. Fantastic.
Lovely.
Thank you very much. Well done. Could we have now a song from Joan Frankel from Massachusetts? And very much
Okay.
enjoyed your singing last night. So more of the same.
Okay, well, thank you. And I get to follow somebody who is singing in a language where I understand actually about every 17th word. But in English, I understand every word, but well, most of them. Anyway, this is a song, with your indulgence, I'm going to glue two songs together. They're both very short songs. And the first one is from the Sacred Harp singing tradition in the United States. And it's a song that people in the South often sing at singing conventions, often sing for part of a memorial lesson. And it's followed by another song, which is related to it by some lyrics, but not in tune. And I'll give a little bit more information at the end if I can babble some more at the end. But the time must come when we must part, when we must say farewell. To part with you gives to my heart a sting no one can tell. When I am gone both night and day. Oh, then remember me. My dearest dear, the time is come for you and I to part. And though I'll never see you more, I'll love you in my heart. And though I'll never see you more, believe me when I say you are the one that I love best until my dying day. I wish my breast was made of glass, all in it I would hold. Your name in secret I would write in letters of bright gold. In letters of bright gold, my dear, believe me when I say you are the one that I love best until my dying day. And when you're on some distant shore, think of your absent friend. And when the wind blows high and clear, a letter to me pray send. And when the wind blows high and clear, pray send it, love, to me, that I might know by your handwrite how times have went with thee. The second song I got from the singing of Ed Trickett, who is an American singer, and he got it from Rosalie Sorrells, who I always used to go hear sing a lot, but I never heard her sing this one that I can remember. And she's spent most of her life in Utah. Also, couple people also sing it. Sheila K. Adams from North Carolina, and Elizabeth Laprelle, who is from somewhere down in the southern United States. I was looking up to see if there were some additional verses anywhere for the Parting Friend, page 414 in the Dense and Sacred Harp, which is what I sang first. And I can never find any more verses. But what I find when I look it up is the My Dearest Dear has some of the same lines. So that's my contribution. Oh, another thing, if I may babble for one more minute, is if you're actually going to look up Parting Friend in Dense and Sacred Harp, you'll notice it's in 4/4 time, and I didn't sing it that way. I sang it the way the people I know, I learned it from the Lee family of Hoboken, Georgia, who sing it the way I sang it, only a lot better. And also it's 3-part harmony or 4-part harmony sometimes, so I can't sing all 4 parts at the same time, though I like to try. And basically they know how to, when people sing Sacred Harp songs, you see a lot of hand motions, and it's not a strange cult movement. They're supposed to be beating time. And so when they sing it, they beat the time in such a way that you put pauses in that put it in pretty much into waltz time. So that's the way I sing it. Which is why you'll see it in 4/4, but it shouldn't be in 4/4. I think I've babbled enough. Over and out.
Right, you caught me there. I thought you were going to sing another song. That's great. Thank you very much, Joan. And now hand over for a couple of songs from our second guest, Mr. Scott Gardner.
Thanks,
And
Jimmy.
he's disappeared now off.
I'll shut off the video again.
No, Scott, I would leave the video on. Give it a try with the video on. Give it a try with the video on, Scott.
Give it a try. Okay.
Aye, come on.
Right. I'll sing
My screen's stuck.
His name is Glasgow. He was the old Melodian man, sung songs of peace and justice all across the land. For he sung both rich and bold, with a voice of liquid gold, bringing happiness and teardrops to the eyes of young and old. Glasgow done, the music man, singing songs and making music of his country. He was born in Glasgow, with the shipyards all around, and he gained his education from the gutter and the ground. But he listened and he cried to the music of the Clyde, of the cockers and the players, and the turning of the tide. Glasgow done, the music man, singing songs and making music of his country. He was 17 years old when he first took to the road, with a butter-tart melodeon and the sunlight for his load. For 40 years and more, he tramped from shore to shore, singing songs and making music of his country and its lore. Glasgow done, the music man, singing songs and making music of his country. Now he tramped the country round, singing songs from town to town, at markets and at fairgrounds and places of renown, and all he'd ever seek was a bed and a bite to eat, and a crack beside the ingle, and a drum before he'd sleep. Glasgow done, the music man, singing songs and making music of his country. Now he missed the mighty boar and the Kaiser bloody war, but in 39 they tried. He had shrapnel in his hide, and his song for the fallen, for the countless men who died. Glasgow done, the music man, singing songs and making music. Glasgow done, he was the old Maldoom man. His heart was surely broken by the cruelties of man. With his winter coat around, he just lay down on the ground. Since he died, his old Maldoom hasn't made another sound. Glasgow done, the music man, singing songs and making music of his country. Is that working okay, Jimmy?
Thanks, Scott. I think the connection's very poor suddenly. It's not nearly as good as it was earlier on. I don't know if anybody's got any suggestions.
Yeah, I think it is poor. Mine was poor for a minute, and Lena switched hers off to help in our house. But I think Scott should just give us another song as planned.
It's a bit blank here, but I'll switch up the video and I'll sing you another song. And just stop me if it's still working, Jimmy.
Actually, it's failing.
Yeah.
I'll go for it.
Scott, can I suggest something here a minute? Can you hear me? Scott, can you hear me?
Oh, once I thought the daybreak sun was brighter than mine, as it roused the glen and shook the earth and wrestled every game.
Scott, can you hear me? I think we should stop for a moment. He's not hearing it.
Oh, the bright sight I've seen, oh, my bonny, bonny lassie, oh, the morning, and the sparkle of her laughter, ever after I'll recall, like the tranquilin Lincoln chinklin as the mountain burning. Okay.
Scott, can you hear us?
Okay.
Can you, Scott? Can you hear me?
What was the last bit that you heard there?
Good, Scott. It's really a bad connection. What I suggest you could try and do is to go out of the system and come back in again.
Well, we'll just give it, chop it on the head.
It's showing.
It might be better, Scott, to chop it in the head, because it really isn't going to be a good. I don't think we're going to get it. It's a shame.
It is.
We all know what a good singer you are and how lovely your songs are, so we'll just have to remember that.
Put another shilling in the meter.
That's a bit extreme.
I tell you what else that worked, Scott, was that Glasgow Dan's quite nice at that slow pace. I thought that was something that you were doing at work.
But every now and again it would catch up and speed up.
Yeah.
That's Zoom for you.
If Scott comes back in, he should have another chance to sing. But if not,
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was showing low broadband width.
Anyway,
the broadband.
Okay, I think we'll let Scott see if he can come back in on a better connection.
There we are. Yeah, I'm admitting him again now. That's him in again now.
Right, where is he?
Scott, are you there?
Where are you?
He's coming in now.
Coming into land.
Are you, Scott? Are you there? Are you there, Scott? If you're there,
Yes,
Scott,
can you
give
hear
us
me? There you
another
are.
try. I'll hand you over to Jimmy. Carry on, Jimmy.
Okay, give it another go, Scott.
You want to be over this, Jimmy? Okay.
Go on.
Right. Well, just cut itself if it's still working. Just give us a thumbs down. Oh, once I thought the daybreak sun was brighter than mine, as it roused the glen and shook the earth and wrestled every green. But it faded in the warmth o' the brightest sight I've seen. Oh, my bonny, bonny lassie, oh, the morning. And the sparkle o' her laughter ever after I'll recall, like the twinkling Lincoln chinkling as the mountain burnies fall. And the hills are empty now, the bonny lassie is awa', my bonny, bonny lassie o' the morn. The morning breathed out cool, as mile for mile we baith get on, reaching for yon high, high land, wi' secret nooks and lawns, where the rock was worn and withered by the years we'd never known, together wi' the lassie o' the morn. Through the clouds and to the sun we scrambled to the cairn above, and the raven soared below us, and the secret words we'd have. And the hills through their arms gathered us into our love, and my love for the lassie o' the morn. Then down the skree we skipped, trundling happy on the hill. We'd fa and laugh and see ourselves as bairns in smare we'd feel. And we both knew we'd grasp the joy that none could share nor steal, as I held the bonny lassie o' the morning. And a dike across the burn we built to try to stop its race, but we micht as well hae tried to hide our wild love in one place. Then I saw the look of pardon soon to come cloud out her face, o' my bonny, bonny lassie o' the morn. Then weary we one last afternoon, we jostled to the inn, tripping, gripping, slipping, seeing what we left ahead. And a grateful gasp of ale, and thankful for the day just in, and my thanks for the lassie o' the morning. And through the dusk we lingered, with nae words for us to say, nae long farewell, but brak the spell, but baith mind our days. Just a trembling look, a kiss, a touch, we turned and walked away, and knew there'll never be another morning.
It's lovely. I'm glad we persevered
Yes.
because that's nice, and that's a nice memory to take away with us now. Lovely. That was beautiful, Scott. Glad you came back. So I think now my job is to hand over to Chris, who's going to take it from here. And thank you again to Scott and all the other singers. Thank you.
Well, everything's just been absolutely fabulous so far. We're getting on to the time when we normally like to finish. It's not the end of the weekend yet. And once again, I just, it's not easy to be saying we just can't have everybody, but I maybe just try and fit in another 3 people before we finish up. Is that okay, Pete, Jimmy? So I'd like to ask Vic Gaughan, if he's still with us, if he would give us a song. And then I would like to ask Lisa Null and then Jerry Simon, if you're all still there. I'm scrolling back and forward between screens. Vic, are you up for it?
I've just woken myself up. I am a roving journeyman, I roam from town to town, Whene'er I get a job of work, I'm willing to sit down with me pack upon me shoulder and me grasping tool in hand. It's around the country I will go, like a roving journeyman. And when I came to Exeter, the girls all jumped for joy. Says one unto the other, here comes a rambling boy. One treats me to a bottle and another to the drum. And so the toast goes round, me boys, for the roving journeyman. And I had not been in Exeter, the days were scarcely 3, before the mayor's daughter, she fell in love with me. She asked me for to dine with her, she took me by the hand, and she boldly told her mother that she loved the journeyman. Oh, out on you, you silly jade, such folly speak no more. How can you love a journeyman you've never seen before? Oh, mother sweet, I do entreat, I love him all I can. And around the country I will go with a roving journeyman. And we'll have no need to trudge afoot, we'll travel coach and pair, and around the country we will go and travel everywhere. And when we get a job of work, we'll sit down where we can. And so the toast goes round, me boys, for the roving journeyman.
Great.
I'm back.
Okay.
You there, Lisa?
Yes, I am.
See you. See you.
And I thought I'd sing a song that is basically a variant of the second song that John Frankel sang, but it has some of the verses that her version doesn't have. And mine is an Appalachian version. It sounds quite different, so I'll give it a try. Got this from a beautiful singer that one rarely hears anymore named Andrew Rowan Summers. Oh, fare thee well, I must be gone and leave ye here for a while. I am going away, but I'm coming back, though it be 10,000 miles, my dear, though it be 10,000 miles. 10,000 miles it is so far to leave me here alone. And until I see you coming back, my dear, may I never cease my moan, my dear. May I never cease my moan. Oh, the crow that is so black, my dear, shall change its color white. If I ever prove false to the man that I love, then the day shall turn to night, my dear. Then the day shall turn to night. I wish my heart were made of glass, wherein you might behold the letters that I wrote to you. They were written in bright gold, my dear. They were written in bright gold. The ocean never will run dry. The rocks melt under the sun. May I never turn back on the man I love, till all these things be done, my dear. Till all these things be done.
Great.
Lovely, thank you. And Jerry, are you still there?
Yes, I am here. Yeah. So the song I'd like to sing, it's not an old song, but I hope and think it probably will become one. I hope that people will sing this in 100 years' time. It's written by Mike O'Connor from somewhere in Cornwall. It's his May song, Singing in the May. Five verses, I think. Each verse is a different group of people in this town, which is probably Padstow, who are singing in the May. And it's so beautifully written. The fourth verse, so count. The fourth verse has a group of really unexpected people singing. And every time a friend of mine from Sheffield is where I learnt this song, called Bob Butler. And every time Bob sings that verse, I'm sort of overcome with the tingles, the poignancy of it. It's just a brilliant song, beautiful song. It's got a chorus. Even though nobody can hear you except the person in the room with you, please join in the chorus. Well, refrain, repeats really. The street was hushed, the listening stars were bright. The church clock chimed at 12 o'clock midnight. And as its echoes died, voices by my side in unison replied, unite, unite. Singing in the May, singing in the May, in unison replied, unite, unite. I heard familiar voices in the crowd. Soft but clear, this song they sang aloud. From many miles away, old friends seemed to say, let all upon this day unite, unite, singing in the May, singing in the May. Let all upon this day unite, unite. Then voices we had thought to hear no more, from generations that had gone before, with us seemed to sing these words re-echoing, as summer follows spring, unite, unite, singing in the May, singing in the May, as summer follows spring, unite, unite. And from the narrow streets came this reply, across the harbour to the starlit sky, as children yet unborn sang in the summer's morn, to welcome summer's morn, unite, unite, singing in the May, singing in the May, to welcome summer's morn. Unite, unite. And from the town the rising voices cried, that all should be as one, whate'er betide. Now winter time is gone, the wheel of life rolls on, for summer is at come. Unite, unite, singing in the May, singing in the May, for summer is at come. Unite, unite. Michael Connor.
Lovely. That's great. Very well done.
Jerry, I think, that was a really lovely song to finish the night with, because you always seem to find songs that speak about important things, about companionship and music and song and what matters, as opposed to what we think matters. So I think I'd like to learn that song myself. Thank you. To everybody who didn't get a chance to sing, I'm profoundly sorry. We had the same number of singers tonight as almost, I think, or more than we had last night, but we had more to fit in. So it was always going to be a bit of a challenge. But to everybody who contributed their song, thank you for what was another fabulous night of a pretty good weekend so far. And for everybody who didn't get to sing, well, you were there to listen, and that's as big a contribution as anything else. And there's still tomorrow afternoon to go. So I think I'm going to hand you over to Pete to say what the story is for tomorrow. And you can't say things like safe journey home anymore, but something of that nature. Sleep well.
That's it.
Well done, Chris. Thanks for doing the summing up there. That's great. No, I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight. I'm really pleased that the Scottish ballet thing went well. We managed to do it without a hitch. I have already put up a link to that. It's on YouTube, but you can only access it if you know the link. So if you want to actually access it, click on the link that I've already put up once, but I'm just going to put it up again right now at the bottom of the chat line. So if you want it, all you need to do is to click on it right now, that HTTPS YouTube link. I put it up at 11:19, and all you need to do is to click on that. It'll open your browser and you save the link, and that means you can watch it again if you want at any time. At the moment, now immediately we're hearing it back to ourselves because everyone's doing exactly that. But not to worry, not to worry. But that enables you to watch it again if you want. We might make it public, but not sure that I'm not supposed to legally do that. But anyway, there it is. It's semi-public. Anyway, please turn your microphones off, or I shall have to silence everyone again. But anyway, thanks very much for being with us. We've got tomorrow night as well.
Tomorrow afternoon,
sorry, starting at 2 o'clock for the big ballads. We've had a few big ballads already, but there's the opportunity tomorrow for more of them, as many as we can fit in.
Bigger ballads.
Something like 3 hours. So, and we're not going to run again the next couple of months or so. I think we'll definitely have a holiday. I need a holiday. We've got other things to do, and we'll probably maybe have another one at some point. We may start again. We don't know. There are so many Zoom sessions, wonderful Zoom sessions going on all over the place, that when we started off, there were not many others. In fact, I don't think there was anything else when we started back in March last year. There was only one other thing that had happened, I think, and that was from Dublin. But I think it's been great, this opportunity to sing just from one's own home and to see other people singing in their own home is a remarkable facility. It is quite incredibly interesting. I know it's lovely to be together in a session. That has its own advantages, but this also has its own advantages. And it's quite nice. You're singing across the table to someone else. You're singing straight to someone else and being heard by everyone else, just as if you're sitting across the table, which is quite an unusual thing to be doing. It's actually, it has its advantages rather than singing in a big session in a noisy pub or in a concert. So there we are. But let's maybe see you tomorrow, 2 o'clock onwards. Okay.
Indeed. Yeah.
I'll just open the microphone so that everyone can have a chat if you wish. Just there we go.
Okay.
All you need to do is speak.
Also, thanks to both our special guests tonight. They were excellent.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Good play. Stuff.
Well, all I'm going to say is I've had a long day and I'm tired. It's been a wonderful night. Thanks to everyone. Good night.
Good night.
I'm shattered. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Good stuff.
All the best.
Right. Good night, Dougie.
Tomorrow.
Good night.
Tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not working tomorrow. I'll be sure of that. Right. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Margaret.
Good night, all, and thank you.
Good night, John.
Good night,
Great to hear you.
Unlike the rest of you, if I manage to get to the ballad session tomorrow, I'm going to have to get up early in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My goodness.
I'll do my best.
Well,
Good
I
night,
hope to see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Enjoyed your singing.
Thank you so much.
That's good.
Good to see you again, John, on the other side of the ocean.
Indeed.
I was.
Oh, thank you.
And John, it was definitely the Fiddler's Green that we saw you. We've had a think about it.
Oh, there you go.
It was Fiddler's Green in Toronto in about 1971.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, that was it.
You people are so old.
I was part of Fiddler's Green, the Friends of Fiddler's Green at that time. You know, I had my melodeon with me, and we sang on stage as part of that. So that was probably where we met.
Was that when Ian was still singing with John Bowden? They were a duo.
Well, it was almost before he started the actual Fiddlers. I mean, it was almost before they started the Friends of Fiddler's Green consort of group. But we were part of that. But they made their album. Their first LP was made just after we left Canada in 1973.
Well, they're all good friends of mine, and
yeah, we went back once to see Tam before he died, about a year before he died. But there we are.
Could I interject something? You guys are exactly like people here in Boston, where I've lived in the Boston area since '71. But when people say the name John, they say it with a vowel sound that's halfway between John and Joan. And I don't know if they're addressing me or not, so I turn around a lot when people say John.
Well, I say John, I think, but anyway, there we go.
Yeah, that's halfway between John and Joan.
That's because you were well brought up, Peter.
Yeah, could be. Yes, that's right. Yes, I know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
See you again. Good night.
Right. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. It's been a fabulous night. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Kate.
Night, night, everybody. See you
Right,
again.
good night, Stephen. See you tomorrow.
I'm afraid no, you won't be
See
seeing
you
me
for the
tomorrow. 'cause
ballads,
that-
of course,
I'm
tomorrow,
afraid, Pete, I still haven't learned to ballad yet. So
Tut tut.
But you could listen.
You did promise me you were going to sing Bruton Town sometime.
I know I did. But what?
Yes.
And that the interesting thing about that one is of course, the child didn't know it. You know.
Yeah, well, it's
not a child ballad, but it's a perfectly good ballad.
Well, it's the only ballad that I know. Well, it's sort of a ballad. It's very short. It mentions gore and blood. It has incest. It has murder.
What more could you want?
So
That's it.
it's only,
Job done.
about 5 verses, so yeah, that suits me about
That's
fine,
pretty,
really.
pretty damn good. Yeah.
But I won't be there tomorrow, I'm afraid. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad you were here these 2 nights anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. See you, John. I haven't said hello to you, John. Hello, John.
Hi.
I'll see you tomorrow. What time are we starting?
Well, it's 2 o'clock, but
2
I'll
o'clock
sign in.
start.
I'll sign in at least quarter of an hour before that.
About 1:45. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll see you then.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
I didn't have a nap this afternoon, so.
Oh, I'll end this now. Okay. I'm going to press the
Okay.
end button.
Right.
Okay. Cheers.
Good night. Cheers.